Today, guys, we're going to be sorting out the filth that is the WordPress admin menu. Look at this sea of items. There's no structure. All I've added here is about 5 or 6 plugins and a few custom post types. And it's just slapped them all in. And if you're anything like me, you need a bit of structure in your life. We need to be able to find where we're going without having to, it's like a needle in a haystack. So I'm going to show you how you can convert this mess into this. Look at that. So here we've got separators or menu dividers basically. So we've got post types, we've got theme, we've got one for plugins, and we've got one for admin. So what I'll do is I'll show you the 2 simple steps that you can take to sort this menu out. And all it is reordering the menu items so that they're in categories. And then once we've reordered them, you can then add your labels and your dividing lines. So they're the 2 steps. For step 1, we're going to need a plugin called Admin and Site Enhancements. I have made a YouTube post about this plugin because it's so great. There's so many features to this plugin. But today, we're just going to use the admin menu customizer feature. So I'll do that first. I'll go to plugins and you'll see I've only got 6 plugins here, and you can see the state of the menu from it. So to find this plugin, just click add plugin and just search ASE, and then it'll pop up Admin and Site Enhancements. We'll install this and click activate. Once you've installed it, you'll find the plugin settings under tools enhancements down here. And again, this plugin has a lot of different settings that you can tweak, and I would recommend you look into these if you're not already using this plugin, because it saves you a lot of other plugins. But for today, we just want to click on admin interface and we want to turn on the admin menu organizer. Once you've turned that on, just save changes, and then you'll find under settings, you've got a new admin menu here. So we'll click on that, and then this is where you can choose the order of your menu items. So group them into categories that you can then add labels to. So to start with, we don't need all these separators. So what I tend to do is just drag them all to the bottom, because we're obviously adding our own custom separators. So we'll get rid of all the separators and we'll just click this hide checkbox. So once we've got rid of all them, I also don't need comments. So I'll just drag that and click hide until toggled. And then everything else, we can now just reorder into categories. So I tend to leave important things at the top, such as the dashboard. If you've got analytics, I tend to leave this up there because clients will want quick access to this sort of stuff. And then I also tend to put pages up here and then media as well. So I'll put media between analytics and pages. And then after this is where I group my post types. So we'll start with posts, and then I've got some custom post types. I've got our work, I've got FAQs, and I've got testimonials. So I'll just put them in this order. So we've got posts, our work, testimonials, and FAQs. And then the next category is to do with the theme. So that's Elementor. So I tend to put Elementor, and then templates, and then I'll put hello and appearance, because these are all sort of theme items. After that, I can focus on plugins. So I'll put all the plugins here. So I might start with Fluent Snippets. We've got ACF. Might put that one first, actually. We've got redirection, and then we've got updraft. Obviously, it's up to you. You can choose any order you want for your plugins. And then at the bottom of the plugin section, I'll put the plugins menu item, which will link to all the plugins. And then underneath here is the admin sort of items. So that's just users, tools, and settings. So again, choose whatever your order you want for these. I'll probably put mine as tools, settings, and then users. Once you've done this, you can save your changes, refresh your page, and you'll see all your menu items are in the order you've set in here now, which is great, except there's no dividers or anything yet. So it is just a sea of menu items. So now we'll add the dividers and labels. For this, you're going to need to add a code snippet. So what I'll do is include the link to this snippet in the video description. So this is on code snippets. It's a WordPress admin menu separators snippet. So just copy all of this code and paste it into whatever code snippets plugin you use. So on this site, I'm using Fluent Snippets. So we'll click on Fluent Snippets. We'll add it as a PHP snippet because that's what it is. It's PHP code. Create your first snippet. It's already set as PHP. Paste it in. And then we'll give it a name. I'll just copy what I've put up here. So admin menu separators. Admin menu separators. And then what we want to do is make sure that if your code snippet plugin lets you choose where to run the snippet, select admin area only, because obviously we're just in the admin dashboard for this one, and create the snippet and then activate it. And I'll explain what's going on here, because once we've activated it and refreshed it, you'll be able to see straight away we've got some labels added with dividers. But you might have noticed one of my labels is missing, and that's the theme label. So you'll see post types, plugins, and admin. But what I've done is I've purposely left this one out to show you how this code works, because you probably won't have the exact same setup as me. You might have different labels because you might have categorized your menu differently. So what I'll do now is I'll show you how the code works, because all you have to edit is this. You don't need to edit anything else. So this says here, label. So these items here on the left are your labels, and then the arrow points to the menu ID to insert the label after. So what you'll notice is my post types label is inserted after my menu hyphen pages. So you can see pages here. My plugins label is inserted after my menu hyphen appearance. So put the actual label name you want. So for example, if I put a few X's after plugins and updated this just to show you how it works, refreshed it, you'll see the plugins XXX, quite small, but you'll see how it's changed the label. So that side is straightforward, but it's this side where you have to do a little bit of digging, because this looks nice and tidy, but I haven't just pulled these out of thin air. These are the actual IDs of the menu items. To find the IDs of the menu items, right click and inspect your page, because we need to look into the code. So if you just click inspect, and then this little tool here, select an element in the page to inspect it. I'm going to click on that, and then click on the menu item that you want to insert a divider after. So for example, pages. Now you'll see here, it's opened up the code and it's opened up this div to pages. You can close this down because we're just interested in the list items here. So where it says LI, and as I move my mouse down, you'll notice on my menu on the left, each of them are highlighting. And for pages, you'll see we've got an ID here of menu hyphen pages. So that's where I've got this value from, menu pages. Again, if I keep scrolling down, you'll notice for FAQs, it's menu hyphen post hyphen FAQ. So here I put FAQs with an S, but it isn't FAQs with an S. There's no S. So if I delete this S, so it's menu post FAQ. So it now matches that one. Update the snippet, refresh the page. And now you'll see, once it all loads in, you'll see that theme is now present as a divider, as a label in the menu. Again, if I scroll down, you'll see that the menu appearance, you'll see menu appearance is an ID here, menu appearance. So then after that, I want to put my label plugins. And then my admin label, I want to come after the ID menu plugins, which is down here, menu plugins. So that's how it works. You need to inspect the code, look at the list items that are associated with the menu items, find the IDs, and then that's the structure. So I think it's pretty straightforward. You put your label in, and then it's the menu ID to insert the label after. Once you've done that, just update your snippet, refresh your page, you'll see your labels appear. The only thing, if you are comfortable with code, you can tweak it here. For example, if you think I've put the menu items, the labels too close to the items underneath, you'll see we've got a margin here. I've put 10 pixel gap. Let's just increase that to 20 just to show you how it works. I'll update it and you'll notice now when I refresh, there's a much bigger gap. So if you're comfortable tweaking CSS, you can do that here. The only other thing to show you in the code, down at the bottom here, I've got 2 optional bits within the JavaScript part of this code, which is hide collapse menu link and hide the show all menu link. So underneath this admin section, usually there's an option to collapse the menu, and there's also an option to show all the items that you hid from earlier. So we just hid a bunch of separators and the comments. So if I just delete this code, because you might not want to hide these items, you can just delete these 2 optional bits of code here. So once I delete them and update, you'll see what happens, and then refresh. What you'll do is you'll get these back here where it says show all. So if I click that, you'll see comments appears and show less. So that's all that one does. And then you've got collapse menu as well, which I never use this. And also you'll see the labels overflow. So I don't want that option. So if you don't want them, just keep in those optional bits of code that I'd removed. So these 2 at the bottom here. So just keep them in. Otherwise you can delete them. It's up to you. But yeah, that's how it all works. And again, I think it's much easier on the eye. The menu is quite overwhelming, especially for clients who aren't used to WordPress. This just tidies it up. And this is just something quite simple that you can add. And I think it makes a big difference. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys, and have fun putting it on your WordPress websites. And I hope to see you in the next one.